We've been exploring the UV mapping tools found in Modo 501. Today we're going to expand our toolbox and start to include the Project from View tool, this one right here, found under the UV tab in the UV toolbar. The Project from View tool is awesome. It's a really powerful tool, and so I'm going to explain and kind of walk you through how we can apply that tool to our scene. If you look at what I have going on here, I have what will become a finished 3D model of a lovely little garbage dumpster. Now this model is going to present a couple small issues and problems when generating UV islands. For the most part, it's a pretty planar object. The shape is comprised up of some very flat surfaces, which makes UV mapping really easy, but it has a couple unique challenges in that it is all connected to each other. It's all one piece, okay? And if you look very carefully, the tops of our dumpster, this part, is at a weird angle. Now, I don't know what type of angle this is, so that could present some problems, and it's definitely at a different angle. It's not perpendicular to the front or the side, so this is going to be a little bit of a challenge, okay? The sides, this is going to be pretty easy. Some very careful selection on the sides will allow us to generate a very quick UV map of that. That's not a big problem. Neither is the fronts or the bottom or the back. But this top is going to be a big problem. And what I'm talking about are these polygons that represent the top rim of our dumpster. Now, let me just to show you guys, let me just make an atlas projection. There it is. So there's our atlas projection of our dumpster. And Modo's done a pretty great job of going in and analyzing and figuring out all of the UV islands. There's the front. Here's some of the inside polygons. The sides are super easy to do because they're pretty flat. But where it's failed is on this top part, okay? So if you look carefully, there's the UV island that represents the top. And if we look at its shape, it is not exactly accurate. It's squished horizontally, it's squished vertically. This is not the correct proportion, and it's having a hard time analyzing the shape of our top here because it's at an angle. It's because it has a weird angle. See that angle right there that represents the top? That's where the computer is having a hard time generating this UV island. So let me show you an alternative. Get rid of all these guys. Texture, UV operators, delete. And I want to very carefully go in and select the polygons that comprise the top of my little dumpster top here. There we go. A couple more. All right. As you can see, like anything inside of Modo, even the UV tools are centered around the selection model. Whatever is selected inside of Modo will be edited. Okay. I want to edit and generate a UV island from those selected shapes. Okay, now here's the step that people often miss when trying to use the Project from View tool, is that they forget to align their viewport camera to the selected polygons. So basically what's going to happen is that whatever is selected is going to generate a UV map in the orientation it is in the selected window. So I'm just going to leave my dumpster where it is at the moment and use the Project from View tool. Now I need to click in the viewport that I wish to capture the selection in. Okay. Now notice how the UV island was drawn. Okay, it matches how the selection is highlighted over here in the scene. Okay, so this is what it's going to be doing. It's going to take the selection inside of this viewport and generate a UV map that matches the selection over here. So this is clearly not what we want. So let me step back for a second. Now, here's a great little keyboard shortcut, and this is how I use the the Project from View tool inside of Modo. If you were to hold down the Control, Shift, and A keys, it's going to auto fit and realign, if you will, your little viewport camera to look directly at the selected component. Now, luckily for us, the selected components are pretty flat, so you don't have to worry about any sort of ancillary distortion. It's always going to be perfect on flat objects. So now that we've matched the selection to face our viewport, the Project from View tool is going to give us a 100% accurate reproduction of the selected 3D polygons in the UV map. Check it out. Let me click. I got to click in this viewport over here. Some people try to click over here. It doesn't do anything. You have to click in the 3D viewport. And then bam, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now I know beyond any reasonable doubt that this polygon, or this UV island, correctly matches the size, shape, and more importantly, the proportion of all of their 3D counterparts in our mesh. Let's do it a couple more times just so you guys can get a hang of it. Let's move that one out of the way. Let's do one of the sides. Just go in and very quickly select some polygons here. There we go. Let's just kind of grab these guys down over here. There we go. A couple more. I think that's pretty much all of them. So let's just do it real fast. Let's fire off the Project from View tool. Oh, before I go any further, I forgot. I stumbled upon it. I'm going to hold down the Control, Shift, and A key to auto-align my viewport to face the selected 3D components. Now the Project from View, and we have to click inside the 3D viewport. There it is. Now we get a perfect reproduction of the selected 3D polygons in their 2D UV map over there on the left. So the Project from View tool is super powerful. It allows us to very quickly generate UV islands that match our three-dimensional polygons in our scene. I love it. Project from View.